It's March 2024. Didn't February go in the blink of an eye after that lengthy fiasco of January? If you are looking for a European theme park fix this month, where in the Portaventura world is actually open to go and get some roller coaster excitement and adventure, and I'm talking properly open, going full steam, not a partial opening or reduced offering event? The answer is surprisingly few. Most parks are sleeping until the Easter break kicks off right at the end of the month. However, there are a handful of gems out there, including an Italian splasher, an Austrian scenic trip, and a Dutch forest disco to get that theme park fix in before the Easter break. So in this episode, we'll take a tour around Europe, checking out the theme parks that are actually bothered to open in March to decide whether or not you should trip it or skip it when it comes to planning your own theme park adventures this month. Hey, this is Stu for Out and Back Travel. I make videos like this one to help inspire your own theme park adventures. If you find this video helpful or entertaining, please help me out by hitting that like button and consider subscribing for more theme park trip planning content. Thank you, it really helps me out on YouTube. So this video is a spiritual second part to the last month's which theme parks are open for February, so I'll leave a link to that one below. In that video I discussed the pros and cons of visiting the parks that have opened at this time of year, especially if a big ticket attraction is down for a scheduled refurbishment. But those parks that were open for February and continue to be open for March are Disneyland Paris, Futuroscope also in France, Plopsaland Japan in Belgium, Efteling in the Netherlands, Paultons Park in the UK, a 2-for-1 in Spain with Park Warner Madrid and the neighbouring Parque de Attractions Madrid, and also Portaventura World, which I'd like to update my verdict on. Since making the last video, Portaventura updated the calendar for Ferrari Land and it's now open on Friday evenings. If you can do a little extended weekend break to include the Portaventura park as well, with the low crowd calendar and a mild Mediterranean climate and some really great value packages for the hotel and theme parks at the moment, I think this is now definitely a trip it. So Easter falls the last week of March in 2024, where most of the theme parks in Europe will open properly for their 2024 season. Even Phantasialand, which has had us tit deep in snow the whole of the winter, is taking a well-earned rest until the 28th of March. Walibi Belgium isn't playing until the 30th of March. Adventure Park Hellendoorn is also the 30th of March. Thorpe Park and Europa Park start on the 23rd of March for the Easter break, but I would wait for confirmation on the new roller coasters opening at both these parks before I recommend tripping them. But if you can't wait that long until the end of the month to get your roller coaster fix in, where can you go in the meantime? Let's take a tour around Europe to discover the options that are currently open and, like I say, going full steam, and decide whether or not we should trip it or skip it. So first up, let's head to Rome. It's Cinecittà World. Cinecittà World, just outside Rome, is open weekends from the 2nd of March with the occasional Friday thrown in there too, 11 AM till 6 PM. There's an interesting collection of rides, including the Valerian Flying Theatre, the totally licensed Indiana Drop Tower, Altair, the 10 inversion coaster, which is a blue version of Flamingo Land Sick, and there's an Inferno indoor dark coaster too with a special surprise. Check out the Acton Splash ride here, look at it rollering and coastering. Come on Roller Coaster Database, this is totally a credit, I'm counting it. For me, this park is a trip it, especially if you paired it with a little city break in Rome and enjoyed all the culture and delights that Rome has to offer as well. However, if you are a cynical cred runner, you might want to wait until the nearby Magic Land Park opens on the 29th of March, which features the giant Mara coaster Shock. Quite an unusual ride. Next up, let's head to Austria for Prater. Vienna's City Amusement Park opens daily from the 15th of March, So Wiener Prater is essentially a permanent fair or carnival, with each attraction having a different owner. Therefore you have to pay per ride, which can make this a very expensive trip quickly. So I always recommend budgeting before you go for this one. There's lots of dizzying, swirly, twirly rides that throw you in the air, like the ridiculous Booster or the Black Mamba snake ride, and even some roller coasters with the classic gentle scenic railway, the wacky Insider, and the Mega Blitz being some of the standouts. No, really, it's actually really good. It's the quirky dark rides that make Prater such a charming delight. My advice is to go in without watching any POVs. You don't want to spoil the surprise or the experience that goes on. There are some really off the wall things that happen in these dark rides. I always recommend the Blue Planet attraction as an incredible experience, but definitely do not spoil that before you go in. The Olympia looping legendary travelling roller coaster will be making its home at Prater for the summer season, so it could be a good time to visit Prater if you want to get this legendary roller coaster. Now the park is building a brand new permanent custom ride, the Wiener Looping, which will open in a few years time, so if you are only going to do one trip to Prater, it could be worth skipping it until that is ready. But again, if you pair Prater with a little city break to Vienna, it's a trip it for me. I have a video of the Superboot Hotel, which I'll leave a link to below, which I recommend for its very unusual hotel rooms. We had a disco room with a bed for 5 people, so we could all snuggle up together. And on top of the hotel there's a rooftop bar and restaurant, which has some amazing views onto Prater, both daytime and nighttime. Next up, we're travelling to the Netherlands, and it's Duinrell. This amusement park, tiki bad water park and holiday camp resort in the Netherlands is quite cool as it's set inside the woods. The indoor portion of the tiki bad water park is fully open and features some unique attractions, including the absolutely ridiculous pelican dive, where the slide ends 7 meters above the pool, leaving you to free fall into the water below. It's absolutely terrifying. The amusement park does open properly for the season from the 23rd of March, however it's currently coming out of its winter operation, which means everything but the top spin and the water rides are available, subject to the usual climate conditions. It's a little sad the water chute is closed, as it does have this indoor conservatory boat, so you stay dry as you essentially slide down the ride in a big greenhouse. Sad that's not available. But it's Saturdays until the 16th of March. The park is doing a Rides by Light event, which is a late night event where the park opens until 9 PM, giving you the unique opportunity to ride the attractions in the dark with spectacular lighting, including the Falcon Eurofighter roller coaster, the Dragonfly family coaster, the Frog kiddie coaster, and the Wild Wings Skyfly ride, as well as the Wave Swinger and the bumper cars. There's also special hot drinks, campfires, and a silent disco. So for me, this is a trip it. This event looks absolutely fab. Wrap up warm, get your scarf on, and get yourself into the woods for a roller coaster disco. Heading into the UK, there's a couple of seaside parks and a few of the theme parks that are open. So one of the seaside parks first, it's Brean theme park, which is open weekends from the 16th of March and fully opens from the 25th, 11 AM till 5:30 PM. Really a permanent carnival, but it does have an interesting ghost train which is on the intense side. I would trip it if you're going to pair this with a visit to the immersive Wake the Tiger experience in Bristol, which is not too far away. Adventure Island offers some seaside fun park vibes in Essex. The full outdoor park is open weekends in March, closing between 4 PM and 8 PM. Obviously it features the Rage roller coaster. Wristbands are £20 at the moment, which I think is a fair deal. If you haven't been before, this is a trip it. For me personally, it's a skip it. I overdid this park back when they put Rage in back in 2007. And they haven't added anything to lure me back there really. I haven't been in over 10 years since my last visit. Next up then, Alton Towers opens on the 16th of March, staying up way past its bedtime with special 8 PM closes on Saturdays through the rest of the month. It's looking likely at the time of recording that Nemesis Reborn will be open with the park, so it's definitely a trip it. Even without Nemesis, we did survive 2023 at Alton Towers because of course Smiler, Oblivion, Wickerman and Curse at Alton Manor more than add together to make a fantastic offering. I currently have a monthly direct debit commitment my bank account to my entertainments to the tune of £20 a month for Alton Towers services, so it's a bloody trip it all day long for me. Back to the seaside for Fantasy Island, it just about scrapes in the criteria of being open more than the last week of March, with a weekend opening from the 16th and 17th. The rides are operating on a green day schedule, which means they are open from 11 till 5 PM. There's of course the ever-changing rotation of funfair rides and the wacky giant Vacomas in Millennium and Odyssey. I was really impressed by the in-house trackless dark ride the park added a few seasons ago now. The park has really been improving and trying to clean itself up, and I think it offers quite good value for money, so this for me is a trip it. And finally, let's head to Yorkshire for Flamingo Land. Busch Gardens Hull, as I affectionately call it, is fully open from March 16th. I do like Flamingo Land commits to opening every day of their operating season. There's no closed days or faffing about, they're just open. Their large collection of rides is of course totally sick, and the expansive zoo together makes for a great day out. Although it is on the pricier side, I recommend looking out for half price vouchers on the local radio stations, however they're usually tied to buying at least 4 tickets, or the European Roller Coaster Club members get a discount, which means you usually get in for about £30. That's not bad value, so for me it's a trip it. So that concludes our tour of Europe's open theme parks for the month of March. If you wanted to get that little adventure or adrenaline fix before the Easter break, when most of the parks will properly open for their 2024 season, unless you're Oakwood. Wap wap. What do you think then? Do you agree with my verdict? Would you trip or skip these parks that I've covered, or are you waiting for the proper summer sunshine? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, until next time, stay safe on the way out and back.